Alright, it's been 4 or 5 days since I checked the fondant and the pollen patties, and it's supposed to snow tonight. It's 55 right now. Today's the 12th of February, I think. So I'm gonna run up here and check and see how they're doing. See if I got anything left. I'll be out of breath time I get up top of this hill. I want to go ahead and get them checked. Not sure how dry it'll be or what the weather condition. I think it's still supposed to be warm tomorrow. But I want to get them checked today. See what they look like. Got my little hive tool. Hardware store had a hive tool. I think they called it a pry bar. They had a little bitty hive tool in it. So I liked it, so I got it. So I just got that today to check, see what we got. A little bit of moisture in this one. This one doesn't have, I deemed it heavy enough. It didn't need a fondant patty. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put them on all of them. We'll see what kind of strength they got. Pretty good cluster. I can see down to the bottom a couple spots. See some hive beetles. They got them crowd up here on the top. Get rid of some of that moisture, give them a little more ventilation. Ouch! Ow! That sucker's hot. So yeah, I'm gonna bring, one of the things I want to do is go ahead and bring the fondant and some feeder shims up here and put feeders on the ones that's, even the ones that's deemed heavy. They're eating on that one. It ain't taking it too fast. I got plenty in there. There's a pollen patty. That one's hardening up a little bit. Not a real strong hive there. And they've ate about everything that we give them. This is pretty typical of what we're looking at with the good hives. They really turn up the candy. This is hive number 12. I've got a picture. I took pictures of all of them when I put the fondant on them. So we'll compare this picture to the picture with the fondant. So you can see what they're doing to it. I'm gonna bring some more back up here in a minute. I'm gonna bring some more shims up here too. Bees are looking good. It looks like a dark bee. For some reason, it seems like a dark bees do better. Bunch of them carrying around pollen. And they're still really heavy. Not any moisture amount to anything in this one. So that's good. And then this last one we checked, Kevin and I checked the other day, and they need to be fed. You can see the bottom pretty easy on them too. It's got a stick up under there. All right, we'll go on down here. I wasn't gonna check them, but we'll go on down here and check a couple. Doing something pretty good. Some of them's pretty light, but they're taking the feed pretty quick. I need to put a cover on this one down here. It's covering much. they're bringing in the pollen today. Let's see if I can get you down there to see the pollen coming in. I'm assuming that's maple pollen that's coming in. It seems pretty heavy. I don't know if I can, yeah, there's a hive down here. It's a little heavier. The maples are blooming. We come through the river bottoms. We live real close to the Salt River here in Spencer County. And we went through the river bottoms yesterday to get to church. And all along the river, you see red. You see pretty much bare trees, but it looks like bare trees with a lot of red on them where the maples are blooming out. Maple syrup's flowing. I know some people that's collecting the syrup. But I think the pollen they're bringing in is from the maple blossoms. And now I see a bunch of bees coming in, but I don't see, there's one with pollen. Hopefully y'all getting this. This one ate all the fondant off of, and most of the pollen patties. There's a little bit of pollen patty left. They really ate. So I'm gonna have to go back down there and get some pollen patties and some fondant, and then come back up here and do some feeding. All right, I'm gonna walk up here to the barn and get a cover. Got a bunch of storage stuff up here. Try out this microphone too. Usually works pretty good. Picks up absolutely everything. I think I've got some just like that one. I think I've got some different ones. I'll put a yellow plastic or a white plastic cover. Yellow. Alright, this hive's doing really good. These down here seem like they're doing a little better than the ones up there for some reason. We'll knock all them bees off. Oh, and I didn't get a inner cover. Let me go up here and get a inner cover. I'll be right back. Put that on there. Then this will be a lot better cover for. See if I got any notes I need to transfer. 2-1 medium fondant is the last note. 2-1 24 marked it medium, and then I added fondant. Got the inner cover and outer cover and everything on that one. And this one I've about $8 fondant too. So we're gonna go down there and get some fondant, get some feeder rings, and get some more feed on here while we can. All right, I'm back. I went ahead and brought all the fondant and the feeder rings that I had up in the four-wheeler. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting each hive the way it needs to be, as they're definitely needing some stuff. Let me get my hive tool. We got our feeder ring on there already. Got our stick that just rode off. And we'll smoke them down and put some fondant and pollen on there. All right, this is number 21. See if we can smoke him down a little bit. Get rid of some of that paper. Put a pollen patty on there. So number 21 will be good till the weekend. We'll check it again. Put my stick back. All right, next one's number 3. We're just gonna go down the line now. Make sure they got a healthy dose of smoke. They got plenty of pollen patty. They don't have much fondant, so we'll put a block of that on there. So that's number 3 is taken care of. Number 51 is marked heavy. Somebody was asking the other day, why are they taking the fondant? It was Kevin. Why are they taking the fondant if they still have plenty of honey? Wouldn't they take the honey first? And you would think that they would, but they actually obviously like the fondant better. There's a lot of studies out now showing that the fondant, the sugar, has got exactly what the bees need and nothing else. The honey, especially dark honey, has got a lot of stuff in it the bees don't need, and it has to be pooped out. And if you've ever tried to feed honey, it doesn't work near as good as feeding sugar water. It'll work and they'll take it, but that's not their favorite. They like the nectar, I think, is what they like. The honey is they can get it down to a point where it won't go bad, and that's why they take the honey, eat the honey all winter, because they've got it to a point where it won't go bad. But I'm not sure that's their favorite. And they'll take this fondant quicker than they'll take their own honey. All right, that's number 51. I'll clean up all this paper in a minute. Like I say, all these houses over here are very full. That one looks okay. They haven't ate enough for me to replace it, so I'm gonna leave them. I'll use it for some of the other ones. Had 2 sticks because it had some moisture in it last week when we checked it. This is number 2. Another cover I think I'm gonna replace. It gets us a thin ring, but I think they'll have enough room with that inner cover turned upside down. Even if you can get just one side of that paper off, it's still pretty gooey. It'll help them out. Like I say, I'll come back and pick up that paper in a minute. And then that's the summer side for the inner cover, and that's the winter side. So we'll put this winter side down. Gives them enough room for that food in there. I'll run and get them another cover up here. Got this new veil, Comfort Pro jacket and veil. They really, the one I had the first time, the zipper didn't work too good, so he at Jake's Beekeeping and Research Conference, they were there and they gave me a new another new jacket, and I love it, but the veil screen on front of the veil keeps sticking to my face. Just got to get broke in, I think. Where'd the covers go? Oh. That's the bottom board. Thought I had a stack of covers sitting here. I think there's some out here. There's some back here behind the barn. These plastic covers, I don't mind leaving them out because they don't go bad or rot. Alright, there, that cover will be a lot better for them. See if I got any notes. 2124 heavy. I'll put that on there. And this is number 2. Trying to get back into the record keeping a little better this year. Needs to happen. I always have good intentions of doing that, but it never seems to quite work out. You might know what I mean. This one's marked heavy. I think this was the mean hive last year. Usually the mean hive are usually the best hives. Yeah, there they come. It's all glued up because I don't like to get in it. They still got the summer side down on their inner cover. These were actually candy, set up for candy bricks with screen on them, and I took it off because they just didn't work that good. Get off. These are all good strong hives. There's one that they've ate everything. A little bit of moisture too. Number 6. Yeah, number 6. Pretty much ate everything I give them, so we'll give them a little more. So we can push them down a little bit. Stay on there. Yeah, we might put another stick on there because there was some moisture in it. I think it's supposed to snow tonight, but I think it's supposed to warm back up tomorrow, so I don't think it's going to mount too much. I'll be able to get back out here. I'm not worried about them too much. You always worry that you have to leave them for an extended period of time. You'd probably put more fondant on them than you would if you knew you could come back in a few days. That one's got some moisture, a little bit of moisture on the top. And they're still looking pretty good, so we'll let them be. It's got a crack in it. See, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that other side. None of those have got feeders on them. I'll go down here and fill up the feeders that I've got first. And then we'll come back and do these. All right, I'm gonna leave y'all down here on this one. See how this microphone works out. Smoker's burning down a little bit. Feels like. Ow. I want to burn all the hair off my knuckles. Usually plenty of stuff to keep the smoker filled up. Yeah, this is one we thought was full or heavy. It really needs some feed. We've got division board feeders in here that we could probably use with it being this warm. It just gets down so cold at nighttime. You hate to have that moisture in the hive when it gets that cold at night. Drop them bees off there. Push them down a little bit. Run out of feeder shims. Get off me. Cut it. Cut it out. You can make a winter patty up with this pollen. You just don't put near as much pollen in it. It's got mostly sugar. A lot of beekeepers are feeding that this time of year. But I think with the way this winter is going and it's coming out so early, I just feel like they can use this pollen and get built up a lot quicker. I just know I got to watch them. But I might be wrong. It won't be the first time. Next one says good and heavy, no feeder. And guess what? We're gonna give you one anyway. one is number 63. Put one brick of fondant on it and then one pollen patty. Bees are very resilient. I raised a tobacco crop one year for my uncle, and we had a neighbor, friend of the family, somebody I think very highly of. His name was Bud Blocher, and I was worried about my tobacco crop. My tobacco is doing good, real good, and I think we had a drought. This one's a dead out, next one says heavy. But I was worried about my tobacco during the drought. It was really dry, everything was dying. He said tobacco is basically a weed. He said there ain't a whole lot you can do to kill it. And I found out he was right. They did fine, didn't have a problem. And bees, believe it or not, are a lot the same way. They're very resilient. They suffer through a lot of our choices. There's some bright red pollen. That's probably from dead nettle. They suffer through a lot of our bad choices, and most of the time thrive anyway. But they're very resilient. There ain't a whole lot you can do to kill them. Most people wouldn't agree with that because there's so many of them die during the wintertime. But I think it's a lot because we don't have the forage that we used to have, and a lot because newer beekeepers don't know what to do to keep them alive, and a lot because we have, let me go ahead and say this, we have a lot of, since we have the internet. And you know, in my day when I started, I read books and listened to the old guys. Now everybody reads books, studies the research papers, looks on YouTube, and I realize this is a YouTube video. But we got a lot of new beekeepers thinking they know it all, that's putting themselves out there like they know what they're talking about. And a lot of newer beekeepers are listening to these new beekeepers, and they're getting led astray. And that's the reason I think we have so many that die out. Bees don't read books. They don't listen to the research. You can research all you want, but nothing beats experience. So, you know, there's people that, that's not what the research says. Well, that's just what the bees do. And maybe they do different things from my management style than they do for others. But there's some things the research is just wrong. There was things 20 years ago the research was wrong, and we had to find out the hard way. And there's still things the research is wrong on. So you've got to have some experience. We just got a lot of new beekeepers teaching newer beekeepers. And a lot of people getting led down the wrong road, in my opinion. I didn't start thinking about teaching or doing anything to help other beekeepers until I had got about 10 years. After about 10 years, I was a president of Kentuckiana Beekeepers, and still didn't have it figured out then, still don't have it figured out now. But you get a lot of people now, 2 or 3 years experience, and think they got it all figured out, and then they want to tell everybody else how to do it, and then we wonder why all the bees are dying. All right, I get off my horse. All right, I've about run out of my fondant. I left y'all down the other end. I'll turn you around here in a minute. There's some strong, really strong hives down here. Behind you that have some a lot of bees. And we'll eat a lot of fondant very quickly. So I got to make some more fondant. That's just feeding this hive here. I'm not even looked at my other outyards yet. Turn y'all around so you can see what I'm doing. Make sure everything's still on. I got 2 feeder rims left. I got a little bit of, got enough to do one more. I'm gonna take my smallest hive down here and do it, I think. Get this smoker. Pollen everywhere. These hives on this side of this trailer, for some reason, have done the best. I don't know what it is about this side of the trailer, but they've done a lot better than any of the other hives. All right, this is the last of my fondant here. Take that bee off of me. And then I'm gonna get one more pollen patty and put that on there. Then we'll be done with them for today. This pollen patty is staying wet, staying a lot better. It's not drying out near as bad as long as it's in the paper. I made that yesterday, and it's not drying out as quick, but it's drying out some because it's still in a bowl. So I need to get some, I ran out of parchment paper. I need to get some more parchment paper and put it on the paper to keep it from drying out anymore. Need my feeder ring. Man, look at the pollen. Golly. You know, you can say don't feed pollen all you want, but they're bringing in a ton whether you're feeding it or not. They're getting it. I think we're gonna have to start looking. The last few years have been pretty close to the same, where the bees have built up early. Now I'll start raising some queens early last year. Some guys was giving me a hard time because, yeah, he was right. It's not really time for it. But we had a bunch of drones. We've got some drones now. Not near enough to think about raising queens, and the weather ain't near enough warming up for it. But, you know, I think the timing's backed up. It's backing the timing up on us. So what we would normally do stuff, we have to do it a little bit earlier now, I think. So, but anyway, we'll go ahead and stop there. Got everything fed that I can feed. I've got to make up some more fondant, probably some more pollen patties, and get that done. And I appreciate you watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next video.